Welcome to the Rebecca Hill podcast. I want to start off by saying that I want my name to remind you to go and live your life big, to take risks, to go all in and write one hell of a story with the one life you know that you have. I'm a 7-figure business mentor, wife, and mother of 3, and I'm here to share my journey with you as I am constantly moving in the direction of more bigness, more impact, more wealth, more depth, and more life. My aim with this podcast is to activate and inspire you to go and live your life big in the fullest, most passionate way. I'm so glad that you are here, so let's dive right in. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Rebecca Hill podcast. I hope you are having the most beautiful start to your week. I am going to keep this episode fairly short and sharp and straight to the point today. And if you are listening to this, I have a feeling you and I have something in common. You want a really big life for yourself. You want to make incredible impact on the people that you are here to serve. You want to live a life full of passion, filled with abundance and just love for, all of the things that you do, and just spread this immense joy around you. I have no doubt about that. And deciding that that's what you want for your life is the easy part. It's the easy part to go and create that vision board. It's the easy part to set all of them goals, so to make statements and declare what you want. And that's the easy part, to just be in beautiful la la land, dreamland, and just feeling into all of the things you want for yourself and for your life. And that is actually not the conversation I want to have with you today. The conversation that I want to have with you today is asking you how uncomfortable you are willing to get in the process. This is the conversation that we need to have, because if you know that it's the easy part to decide that you want all of the money and make all of the impact and speak on stages and be known around the world and make this huge impact and live this life full of passion and love and light and all the things, you're like, great. Is there a part of you that thinks that it's going to be like a smooth ride on your way there, like all along? If you have the mindset, and I'm not saying that it has to be hard, but I know that life happens, and we're going to have good days, we're going to have bad days, we're going to have days where we feel like we want to burn everything to the ground and start over. We're going to have days where we feel like we're completely unstoppable, and then we're going to be hit with something happening in our external world that then impacts our internal world, and then that's the spiral. So I know that we can all dream, and when we all get together and we feel good and we're having these like really expansive conversations, that's amazing, and I love that, and I'm so here for those conversations. But the conversation that actually matters is, how uncomfortable are you willing to get in the process? How willing are you to be misunderstood? How willing are you not to be liked by everybody? How willing are you for someone to drop into your DMs and tell you that you are not good enough? How willing are you to expose yourself? How willing are you to show up when you don't feel like it? Now we're talking. Now we are speaking about commitment. Now we are speaking about actually being true to ourselves in terms of what we are willing to do to get the thing that we want. And I don't want to have this conversation from a perspective of thinking that it has to be hard. That I certainly believe that, the more fun, the more joy we have, like the better we feel. That I think that, things can truly come to us easily, and it will continue to happen that way. But we will be met with no doubt a level of discomfort along the way. And if I'm looking back at my journey for the past, few years since I've started my business, I've had many moments where I felt like giving up, where I felt like running into my bedroom and just popping a blanket over my head and never show up to the world again. I have felt vulnerable. I have felt exposed. I have felt judged. I have felt misunderstood. I I have felt sad and I have felt lonely and I have worried and I felt all of those things, and I felt my friendship circles shift, and I've had, you know, friends that I'm no longer friends with, for whatever reason. Like, there has been a lot of changes. I've navigated, raising children at the same time as running a business, and what happens when you have to keep going even though you are sleep deprived, even though you are tired. And this is the conversation that I actually want to have today, because I think it's so easy to get caught in the love and light bubble of, just manifesting all of these incredible things. But how willing are we to actually go there? And I think that, and sit with that first of all, like, how willing are you right now to be misunderstood, to be judged, to maybe not be liked by everybody, to show up no matter what? Like, sit with all of those questions and feel into your body if you are met with a level of resistance, or if there's like this fire in you that says, "Oh, I'm willing to do whatever it takes." And I think before you even answer that, we have to make sure that you are on a path that you know wholeheartedly is meant for you. Because life happens. And when life happens, and when you feel like you're up against it, we want to make sure that at least when you have to put in that extra effort, when you have to show up when you don't feel like it, when you have to deal with things you don't necessarily want to deal with, we have to make sure that your path is aligned with the thing you want to be known for, and you want to be on the path that is meant for you. And that is something that I've been feeling into for myself, that I wouldn't be willing to do all of the things that I do today, and the sacrifices and the effort and that I go to, and the heart and soul and time and energy I put into my business and that I put into my brand, if this wasn't like my soul's calling, I wouldn't do it. And certainly if I was employed, I definitely wouldn't do this. I would have chucked a lot of sickies over and over again if I was employed. Or if I didn't like it, there is no way I would do it. So now we're going to have a conversation, and I want you to do a bit of a stock take on your business and the way it's looking and feeling at the moment. Because if you are met with a level of resistance inside of your business, then adding external factors that impacts how you are feeling, then we're in trouble. Like, then we're in trouble. Then you're going to struggle, because not only are you not feeling aligned in your path, but you're also up against it in terms of, shit going on behind the scenes. So you're going to feel a huge level of resistance, not just in your mind, but in your body. So everything inside of your business is going to start to feel hard. It's going to start to feel like it's an effort to create content. It's an effort to show up. It's an effort. Like, everything is an effort, right? So you don't want to do it. But me, on the other hand, and no doubt you, if you have already found your thing, like me sitting recording this right now, I'm thinking to myself, there is no place I'd rather be right in this moment. Because I know the way my business is set up, the conversations I get to have, the people I get to work with, the way I get to market myself, the way I get to express myself, like everything feels so fucking good. And I'm like, this is like, there is nothing more I love talking about than this. Like, this is my thing. And I know this thing is not going to be for everyone. I bet you there are people out there that would just be like, can fucking she shut up already? Can she just like zip it? Like, enough of that. But I'm like, great, feel that, but I'm not for you. Because you know what? This work lights me the fuck up, so I'm going to keep talking about it. And I know that there are going to be people out there that feels exactly the same way, and they're going to find me, and we're going to get on like a house on fire. That's how you meet your people, to be fully who you are. Then you're going to start to meet the people that actually aligns with that. So my friendship circle that I used to have, they turn into freaking dot. It ain't no circle happening over here. That I don't have a lot of really close friends. I don't have a lot of close friends. You know, I have a number of people that I feel like they really get me. And I am sick of having to explain myself to people that don't get my path. Now I'm like, you think whatever you want to think, I'm not for you. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing because it makes me happy, and the people that actually resonates with the work that I want to do, they want to listen, they want to hear what I have to say, they want to work with me, they want to move with me, they feel my heart, they feel my evolution, so they're going to plug into my world, and we are a fucking perfect match. And I am not surprised that so many of my clients become really good friends of mine because we are wired the same way. Call us crazy, call us out there, whatever you want to call us, but I know we're the same. And if you are listening to this, you get me. And I want you to have all of the things that you want to have. I want you to go after them. Like, I'm so here for that conversation. You know, when you meet someone and they just share everything they want to do, and they have like no shame about it, they don't dim their light, are just standing so fully, owning who they are, fully expressed, fully embodied, like they look alive. They have this glow about them that I'm like, whoa, like, you're my person. Like, how fucking magnetic is that? Like, how sexy is that when you meet someone that totally just like owns who they are and the bigness of who they are? But apparently, we have all been conditioned to slightly dim our light to make others feel comfortable. So we all just walk around living our life to 50%. Oh, not too much, not too big, not too good, not too much money. Oh, don't show off. Don't be a shower offerer, if that's even a word. Turn down your just dim your light. Just turn down the volume a little bit. You know what? I have not even turned up my dial yet. I am so ready to turn up my dial, and I know that you are feeling the same way. Like, what are we doing? Imagine living in a world where everyone was fully dialed up, like to 100, like 110%. And I'm like, you're in your element, you're in your element, you're in your element, you do you, you do you, you do you, I do me. Can you imagine how fucking good this world will be if we just allow, without trying to fucking crush each other, without trying to make someone else wrong, without trying to like look a certain way and trying to fit in? I'm like, if I can just give myself permission to turn up my freaking dial like right up, and it's gonna be so loud that the people that like hearing the same music as me, they're gonna hear that song and they're gonna be like, fuck, I gotta move closer to that space over there because I'm digging that. And then you're gonna have people to be like, oh, I can't stand the sound of that. But that's cool. At least I get to do me. And I don't have to prove shit. You don't have to prove shit. And how fucking freeing is that? And this is why I'm feeling so good about this podcast that I've tried for so many years, sitting like a professional, not swearing or not showing my shoulders because I was told I was unprofessional. And I'm like, I don't fucking care. I swear when I'm passionate. I don't swear because I'm angry. I swear because I just It's just how I express my passion. And maybe my vocabulary is not that good because English is my second language, but I hope you can understand me right now. Maybe my English is not perfect. Maybe I sound funny. Maybe I swear. Maybe I whatever. But at least I'm being me. And I'm going to have people that would just be like, you know what? Rebecca's a fucking vibe. I want to be in her world. And I'd be like, yes, fucking let's go. Let's fuck shit up. Let's go and create these massive fucking lives. Leaving a mediocre, just like cute little quiet life. It's not for me. It's like trying to tame a fucking wild horse that I don't feel like that life is for me. That I feel I'm from a small country town. God bless my parents listening to this. Mom and dad, I love you. They live in this small town. Maybe that's for them. Well, they live there still, so I'm going to assume it's for them. I have still friends who live in that small town. That's for them, and that's cool. But it gives me anxiety to think that I'll be stuck in a small town for the rest of my life. I can go back there now and again for a holiday, but I know that's life is not for me. I want a big life. I want lots of energy. I've got big energy. Like, I'm going to do something with all the energy I've got inside of me. And if you pop me in a small country town with not a lot of opportunities and a very, like, we all kind of do the same thing, like, I don't think my soul would actually be able to live there. I don't think my energy, it just wouldn't work. So I'm like, what can I do so I can fully let this beast of an energy come out of me so I can fully express myself? Because I'm like, surely there's a reason why I was born with this much energy. Surely there's a reason why my brain is wired that everything that I see around me, I see it as an opportunity. And I think about different ways we can turn an idea into a business model. And I think, how can we scale it? How can we create impact? How can we pivot? How can we evolve? How can we grow? That is how my brain is wired. That every time I see a challenge, I see that as an opportunity to evolve. That I see, like, so looking at my life right now, and I'm like, I don't have problems. Maybe I have a few challenges around me, and I'm like, oh, watch this space. Love a good challenge because I know it's an opportunity for me to make something better, to take something that presents to me, whether I like it or not. But I know that the way my brain is currently wired, my CEO brain, is like, okay, great. How do we solve this? How do we make it better? How do we turn this into something great? How can I make all versions of myself actually mean something so I don't feel like anything in my life is wasted? How else can I get my message out there? How else can I express myself? How else can I move people? What more can we do with the time that we have? The time that I have, how can I make the most impact? Like, this is how my brain is wired. I think about opportunities. I see opportunities. I don't make myself wrong for it. Could you imagine if I did? Could you imagine if I did not allow for these thoughts in my head right now to actually come out? And I can tell you right now, if they were just stuck in my head and I did not do anything with them, I would be one angry old whatever I am, angry old bitch that felt that I was just trapped in my own body. This is my way of letting my body and my soul and every single part of me and be expressed. And I think that I'm a fucking vibe. The conversations that I'm available for, I'm like, fuck, I love having these conversations. I love having the conversations. I love how my brain is wired. So can you imagine when I meet someone whose brain is wired the same way as mine? Can you imagine? This is what I feel with my private clients or any clients inside of my mastermind and group programs. When two brains that are wired this way come together, and we create and we express and we take a challenge and turn that into an opportunity and we turn that into a solution and we look at what opportunities that are in front of us, and if there are no opportunities that we can see, we go and create opportunities. Can you imagine the impact that we can make? This is what happens. I feel this is why it's so important to be fully expressed, because I know if you are listening to this right now and your brain is wired just like mine and you're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I thought I was the only one. You feel like the alien. And because I'm Aquarius, people tell me that I'm the alien of the zodiac, whatever that's called. I'm like, I feel like an alien, but when I've started to express myself even more, when I'm fully expressing myself, there are people that are dropping into my DMs to be like, oh my God, we are just the same. You are inside of my head. This is exactly what I'm thinking. This is exactly the way I am. And I'm like, you're my person. You found me. And I'm like, are we a thing now? Are we a thing? Like, are we gonna, is this like happening? You get me, I get you, you get what I'm putting down. I say this to my clients all the time. Like, do you follow? Do you actually get what's happening inside of my head? Do you get what I'm putting down? They're like, oh my God, I get you. Yes, I get it. And then they drop something in. And when that whole riff, when we drop into Voxer sometimes and we have this full on riff back and forth, and we get our brains that are wired in a very particular way, we get them together. Sometimes I even surprise myself with the shit that we come up with, because I'm like, our brains are wired to see solutions. We are wired to move in a pace that maybe this is someone's like 150%, but it's just our 50. That is just like how we wake up. We wake up thinking like this is not an effort. This is just like who I am. And you have people out there that I'm like, they're just like me. And if this is you listening to this right now, I'm so fucking glad that you exist, because that means that you are just like me. I am going to wrap up today's episode. I am sitting here with the biggest smile on my face, that it feels so good for me to be able to sit here and express myself in the way that I have just done. And I want to leave this episode with giving you the biggest permission to turn up the dial on you. Turn up the dial on who you are, in the way you want to dress, in the way you want to express yourself, the way you want your business to look and feel. Just turn up the dial. And by you turning up the dial, you are now giving permission to those around you to turn up their dial. And I truly believe if we can all take our own responsibility to turn up our own dials as much as we possibly can, this world is going to be a whole new fucking vibe, and I'm so here for that. I hope that you have loved today's episode. If today's episode resonated with you, please leave me a review below to tell me what your takeaways were, or drop me a DM on Instagram just to connect, just to say hi. If you are my person, it will be so fucking wonderful if you can let me know. If we are wired the same way, I would love to hear from you, so we can connect, so we can just continue to be us, to be fully expressed as the people that we were born as. And I just want to continue to turn up the dial. That I feel that my dial has been a little bit turned down for the past few years, and I'm just ready to just turn up that dial. I cannot wait to come back next week to have another epic episode with you, where we can just riff, when I can just fully express myself, whatever is on my heart at the time. I hope you have the most magical day, evening, night, wherever you are in the world, and I can't wait to see you all next week.